Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
When the voice on the line ain't the one that you wanna hear, and the words hit harder than you think you could ever bear. When the world you build in your head seems to disappear, no, I'm here for you. Even when you fall, know you're not alone. Underneath the stars, know you got a home. Even in the dark, there's a light above. No matter where you are, no matter where you are. Even when you fall, know you're not alone. Underneath the stars, know you got a home. Even in the dark, there's a light above. No matter where you are, no matter where you are, you're not alone. When your darkest days don't ever seem to have an end, and you try to pray but it's hard believing anything. When the waves keep coming and you just can't catch your breath, no, I'm here for you. Even when you fall, know you're not alone. Underneath the stars, know you got a home. Even in the dark, there's a light above. No matter where you are, no matter where you are. Even when you fall, know you're not alone. Underneath the stars, know you got a home. Even in the dark, there's a light above. No matter where you are, no matter where you are. Even when you fall, know you're not alone. Underneath the stars, know you got a home. Even in the dark, there's a light above. No matter where you are, no matter where you are, you're not alone.
No, I make you feel good. Don't you wanna feel good, good?
Recoil. Small block down. Let me put a text out.
Go back before you got hurt, hurt, hurt. When before I was scared, now I'm feeling the pain. Don't you wanna feel good? Don't you wanna feel good, good, good?
When you say you were leaving, I thought that you meant it. I played the victim, you start as indifferent.
Just sent out a text to the fabricated general.
Hate to admit it, you're better off. Now you're too afraid to look, too scared to miss it. We're night and day, solar eclipses. Too afraid to look, too scared to miss it.
Rita Prey tuning in. Muddy Fudster. Go Boy 76. You can't forget about old Go Boy. Tallest UK. I'm gonna go live on Instagram in a minute or two, guys. Do a little simul. It's raining outside, so I actually have the window open so my lady can enjoy the thunderstorm. Looks like Swollerbot's on. There we go, guys. Live on 2 platforms, 3 maybe. We're going to keep it on Instagram for a minute so everyone can know. And we're probably going to start getting airbrushing done today. The Great Unclean one. Shout out to everybody tuning in on Instagram. I'm sure you guys just clicked the live button by accident as you were scrolling. That's the only way I end up on Instagram Live. Dark Horse over on Twitch. What's up, brother? Crazy tuning in. Got this Unclean one, mostly built toward Eroticus build. So I'm assuming we're gonna have the last 2 parts on them here, and we're gonna be able to yank the airbrush out and do some base coats and stuff. So you gotta be on Twitch for that, or YouTube. Doing both. Crazy says, I'm really excited about this, about the pin washing for this project. For the Great Unclean one. Shout out to Dom over on the gram. What's up, brother? Mateo over on YouTube. Or sorry, Twitch. He's not a boomer. Full Spectrum Mushrooms. Good to see the legend on the live stream. Did you just accidentally click on it too? Tom over on the gram. Just got my house back from termite fumigation. God. That sounds frustrating. I'm sorry. Full Spectrum Mushrooms on the gram. Couldn't figure out how to paint a good Emperor's Children, so I just did some shrooms and then they looked way better. Wise words. Crazy says, want to see how you do it before I jump into my death guard? For that, Dom, Callie, what you gonna do? It's much drier out there, right? Isn't that a thing? Recoil, blurry-eyed and ready to hang. Is that like 5 in the morning for you or some crazy shit? 6 a.m. Some shit. Over to the gram. This is what we're working on right here. This is the page we're on. So we're about to get the Eroticus add-ons on. And the commissioner, Scooby Druid, he has authorized us to go with a GW inspired paint job. Like, we're going to use the box art of the Eroticus specifically. as our inspirational guidelines. So we're gonna cultivate our own colors using this as inspiration. Some of that base coating is probably gonna happen today. We're definitely gonna pull the airbrush out today, guaranteed. We're gonna start the show in about 2 minutes over on Twitch. Follow the link train in my bio. Next level painting on Twitch. Recoil got up around 6. Legend. Easy peasy lemon squeezy tuning in. What's up, brother? You're teetering on getting your death guard. Did a plague fritters for your Nurgle towel board. And now you've been Nurgle curious since. I feel like a lot of people are secretly Nurgle curious these days. Peasy Peasy says, played the fastest game of 40k in my life. Nice, bro. You just tabled him turn 1. Full Spectrum says, like, absolutely hate the fight Nurgle. My Eldar just can't wipe their units easily. It's always a tar pit that kills me. Well, most people feel the same about Eldar, bro. You guys have been on... You guys should have been on an apology tour since 3rd, but you haven't been. Easy peasy, the opposite. You got tabled on turn 1. What were you playing with? Oh, we got some thunder out there. It's a full-ass rainstorm out this window, guys. We'll see if we have power. Alright, Instagram. We're about to start the show in 30 seconds. Hopefully I'll see you guys on Twitch. Thanks for stopping by. Great Unclean one. Let's go.
Let's do it!
Yo, dog, Kenny Boucher here. Next level painting. Hitting you up on that literal best of all days. Coming to you live from that Beats Lab, an undisclosed location in Central Florida. We're doing it again. Turn some of that down. Dark Horse says, no, we shouldn't. Chaos should be on that since 5th. What? Bro, you're insane, dude. 5th edition Chaos? Really? That shit wasn't even good. What are you talking about? You talking about like demons? Maybe demons, sure. Chaos Space Marines? They sucked dick until like we got until like the index of 8th. And then they were good again. Like, we had some, like, supplemental nonsense, for sure. But nothing compared to Eldar nonsense, bro. 5th? 4th? And 6th? 7th? Ugh. Crazy says it's the same for Harlequins. Is that the same for Harlequins? That's what's after Death Guard? What do you mean, for you? Got destroyed fast and so on, taking a high dose of laxative and missing the seat. Easy peasy. Alright, so today's the day. I feel like we're going to get some airbrushing done today on the Great Unclean one. Since we're only a couple of pieces away from actually getting this guy built. Like, it's just like one panel of building. From what I can see here. And then we're gonna Pull out the old airbrush, get some primer done, and maybe some base coats after the whip. I ordered a shitload of paint from Monument Hobbies for this project, but it hasn't gotten here yet. But I do have a shitload of paint, so probably fine. Replaces lots of cope and mouthing over faction performance over the years. The obvious care is to just collect minis and throw them in the closet. Should Harlequins be on an apology tour? They only had a brief, yet explosive, like time in the spotlight. It's not like Eldar. Eldar were like have been oppressive and difficult to play against since third edition. There was like this there was this 7-month exception when like we had ticked over to 5th and they still had like their 4th ed codex, and where they like didn't have a lot of DPS anymore, but they were still hard to play against because they could spam wave serpents and stuff. They couldn't really table you, but you couldn't really table them, and then because of the nature of scoring of the era, it was all end of game scoring. They could outlast you and win. But that was like this brief window. That was the easiest we ever had it. There we go. Moe's Magic. What up, player? Dark Horses. Can you show me where the Eldar bad? You'll show me on the Space Marine where the bad Eldar touched me. I mean, it all started with 3rd edition with screening. Screening was a part of the game, and the Seer Council and Wraith Guard. That was where it all started. Like that was. Bleh. Then we got Super Falcon Eldar in 4th, immediately after 3rd, where you had literally mathematically 99% unkillable Falcons because of how vehicle penetration chart worked. Literally, it was like Void Shield, it was like, I can't remember, 2 pieces of upgraded war gear that their vehicles got. They still have them, but they mean different things now. And so Skimmers already had a rule where if they moved, you had to hit them on 6s in close combat. That sucked. They had a rule when they moved too. All hits are glancing hits, and this other rule, like Star Field or Star Shields or whatever the fuck, they flicker fields. I don't fucking know. It was glancing hits only. Roll 2 dice, pick the lowest. Camo Specs Online. What's up, brother? That was the worst. So we went from 3rd, screening, Seer Council, blah, 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 to 4th, Super Falcon. So these 3 Falcons, and to put the math down. Remember, vehicles didn't have wounds, bro. Dark Jameson in the house, what's up? They had 1 wound. Vehicles had a single wound. They had no hit points. It's like, oh, how hard is that really to kill? Well, the thing is the only way to kill a vehicle on a glance is to follow that glance roll up with a 6. You see? 2 dice, pick the lowest. So, if you took like the math of a Space Marine hits on 3 with a last cannon, that's strike 9. 9 versus armor 12, which is a decent ass armor, right? So I had to roll a 3 or better. So I had to roll a 3 or better. Then 2 dice, pick the lowest. And so if you map that out, it's like hundreds of shots. Like literally hundreds of shots. Hundreds of las cannons. Like 105 las cannon shots. Kruger, what's up, brother? Kruger, see, Kruger, he knows what's up. He's like, I miss your old style beard. Thanks, man. Me too. So, but that was like, they could do that on everything. The wave serpents, the Falcons, everything. So, like, couldn't beat that. That was 4th edition. We deal with that. So, when 5th ticked over, and they still had the 4th codex, they kind of lost the DPS edge, and everyone else got cover now. Everyone got like 4 cover, so they briefly were like not that impressive. And then like everyone's rhinos and rhino delivery systems, storm ravens were all like it was a wild addition. Everyone had a good time. That's when Grey Knights got over the top. Blood Angels got over the top. Chaos Demons were over the top with Fate Weaver. Simon, what's up, brother? Over on YouTube says, love the beard. Thanks, man. Just got a haircut today. Trimmed the old unit up. All right, let's get started. We're going to build this model up. Caddick Painting, what's up, homie? Exclamation point class prize, as always, every $50 donated while I am streaming equals free class giveaway. Someone in the chat will win. This weekend, we're about to do some big shipments. We're locking into the obesity cradle. Crazy says, I was just thinking your beard looks a little different. I used my beard straightener that my lady got me. So it's a lot straighter than normal. And sharper because of that. I did some trimming too, but this is like extra over the top preposterous. She regrets buying me that beard straightener because that's what I used to deliberately make the older beard go crazy in every direction. I was doing that with the beard straightener she bought me and making it deliberately not straight. Disco says those handlebars over the top. She's given up on making me not do the mustache thing. Luckily. She was only mad about it for like one car ride. Because like I straight lied to her. I was like, oh, it'll go. Like I put all the wax in it. I was like, oh, it'll rest by the time we get there. It fully did not rest. It was preposterous. It's like I thought you said it was gonna go down. I was like, okay, maybe I lied to you. Maybe we have a command in chat. Exclamation point no hobo. And what it triggers is the phrase, I didn't know you were dating a homeless man. Mateo says, lol, one car ride. You like how I use one car ride as a unit of measurement? Okay, there's a couple things I did notice that I don't like. I have to decide how much I don't like it on this model. How's Wyatt doing, Dark Horse? He's in good spirits, you know, in the hospital, recover. He's got to rest and recover, and they're scheduling out what he needs next. But I'd say, shockingly, he's in decent spirits. Okay, so we got the hand on there. Now, what's 3A? Oh, this is the A chart. Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, this side. So I skipped this side too. We're supposed to get 46 and 45 on there. And I'm bad at following instructions. Maybe Mo's Magic's right. Maybe the last build didn't need to be so ridiculous. Maybe I'm just bad at this. 45, 46. Somebody tidied up my workspace and a bunch of my stuff has gone back to storage. But it's funny because I remembered where it was this time. And it's kind of funny. It's like every time my stuff gets clean and I complain about it being not where I left it, I've now realized that it goes back to the same location every time. Almost as if it was deliberately organized that way. All right, let's get these nubs off. I think we may need to pull out the green stuff. Guys, seen something I don't like on the Great Unclean one, but I've seen it in a few photos of other people's Unclean ones on the internet. Even though they're doing a great job of hiding the mold lines, not the mold lines are invisible. They're fine. They're doing a great job of hiding those. Hiding the seams. They're doing a great job of hiding the seams in most cases. But there's a couple front and center money shot seams that just too much. So I think we're going to have to jam some green stuff into some recesses. Back scrape right here. Caraquetta says, I hate assembly models. I like figuring out conversions, but actually building, ugh. Bro. 100%. Caraquetta, 100% agree with you. Okay, so 45, 46. What am I looking at here? There it is. Goes in right, just like that. Poor Pimmer says that was literally the same thing you said in a stream recap from 12 years ago. What is? A stream recap from 12 years ago? What did I say in reference to the Great Unclean one? Disco says plastic putty filler sand down. I like plastic putty from Vallejo. I just don't have any. I haven't bought any in a long time. It's extremely convenient product. Moonface Killer says, yo, just got your dice in the mail. Wanted to say thank you. Life's busy. Can't catch the stream as much. Been keeping up on the Titan on Patreon. That's what I like to hear, brother. I get some love and chat from Moonface Killer. There's got to be more to this. Yeah. There's missing something. Yeah, like the whole back of his hand right here. 47. Kara Quinn likes rather use sprue glue on plastic. Sprue glue is definitely a strong candidate for a Great Unclean one to fill gaps. And I might consider it. once I start taking a look at the thickness and girth of these gaps, I'll make a final decision. But the Great Unclean one's actually great for that. Because he's already, got such a textured and distorted skin that I think the sprue glue you can kind of just raw dog it and let it ride. Where does this go? Bro. Oh, I see. No, Spec says spew glue was my nickname for you in high school. Yeah, I recall you using that phrase every now and then. Grab a paper towel. That hand on there. Me, old man, tuning in 69 nice months back to back. Four Finger says about gluing the room. Cleaning up and not finding whether wood may have been 7. I'm gonna need a translation. I'm gonna need a War Pigment translator. You're saying complaining about having my room cleaned and not being able to find anything? Or this epiphany, which was now that it's been cleaned multiple times in a row, I'm starting to realize there's a method to how it's being cleaned and it's organized. Two. Oh yeah, I started putting my stuff away. So this is what I'm talking about. This seam right here, recoil. This is heinous. That's gonna look like shit. And it goes here. Especially if you're going with a more light colored skin tone, that's gonna look like shit, dude. Shit's bad. All right, so moving on. Oh, we got to assemble the face, which is 4140. Dead beat artist coming in, joining the party. What's up, brother? $41.40. Can read. See what this looks like. Okay, so that's probably his mouth. I'm gonna assume. How does this go? Bro, I love how sometimes it's just like a straight up jigsaw puzzle. Is that part of the fabric? Okay, I see it. See it. Lost it. Got it. Okay, so it goes in this gutter right here. Still have to clean this. This is just one of those pieces that I think is a little easier to glue together than clean. So funny how some of these pieces work. It's like because I just utterly lost it. There it is. No, that's like out of it. It needs to go under this. That's so wild. That's so wild. Like how they slice some of these parts up. I have to find out where super glue accelerator is. That beat artist says, slow day. Got a mini done for my inquisitorial retinue. Hells yes. Do you remember the names? Gangster Gumbo, Voodoo Bubba Gumbo? Yeah, I remember him. Iron-Headed, Slunas Donkey. He says, do you remember their names? Gangster Bubba Gumbo. Yeah. Gangster Bubba Gumbo came to my house. And Iron-Headed, yeah, he was a mod. Playing some of these nubs up. Okay, got that. Wait, what's next? $42. This is exciting. This is his face. Get these little sprue nubs removed again. This should go. Oh, is that his eyeball? Is that literally what I'm looking at here? Oh, that's wild. I just noticed that the eye, a huge mold line on it. Straight across it. Tell me that's not like the weirdest way to install an eye I've ever seen from GW. Use a little water. There we go. Wolf Sark, what's up, brother? So yeah, you see there's like 4 dots here. Rebasing your Guardians, Wolfsark. Gangster. Or Pigman, what was the point of that question? I thought you were going to have more to the story of the Gangster Bubble Gumbo and Sinez Donkey and Iron Hit It. I thought you had some like information. 43, 44. Three, 4. Oh, You were just being nostalgic. I mean, yeah, you said nostalgic. I was like, damn, he's a good speller. You remember Gangsta Gumbo? Wasn't that gloss wash mixed with something? No. What? Cool, sorry, you're ridiculous. Go. This nonsense right here. Looking good. Yeah, he was specifically talking about a person. But the Gangsta Gumbo on my vocabulary terminology refers to the act of mixing the paint in the pot with your airbrush. Specifically when we're doing our in-between steps, like marrying two colors together. It's a big knot right there. Let's see what we have here. Oh, I forgot this right here. This is actually glued to. So it's this little seam right here. A little glue on that. Let me find my little shitty glue brush. Right there. Let's take a look at that. There we go. Is the Noosh that's a mixture of some paint stuff? Noosh is a product. Let's kind of pre-fit this.
Feeling special for a while, but I'm not the only one.
Some of these artifacts removed.
Working 'cause I'm all up in my head.
Dry fit that again.
You wanna stay, then leave before I feel something real. I'm wide awake when you just hit replay.
That's like practically push fit. Okay, so that's easier to see right here. Now I'm going to use the You didn't realize that you can be seen? At least you put pants on. Let's get that going. Oh, I put a bunch down here when I didn't need to. War pigment, delirious from a 55-hour week. $55-hour week the last 3 weeks. Oof. The time of year for your business. Is this that hot time of year? Got a little glue in that hole. Don't want to put it on just yet. $18. What do you mostly do, War Pigment? A lot of maintenance calls, residential. Go in and clean the filter, like change the filter, and yell at them. Oh, you do installs. Ooh. That's more. What? Showing like a random little tentacle here. Do you guys see this? Like a free-form tentacle inside of this sore with no number. Where's the random tentacle sitting on a sprue? Yeah, it's a plague dick recoil. I'm looking for like the solo tentacle just hanging out on one of these sprues. 51? This might be it. Let's see. There is, sure enough. Random tentacle just sitting on one of the sprues. And it's a little plague dick. And it looks like it goes in this little plague vagina. Sure enough. It does. So I'm kind of thinking that we can keep the face off for part of the paint job, just because these robes get in the way of the belly. You know what I'm saying? And it's practically push fit. I mean, it needs glue. But I feel like during the first laydown phase, not having these robes blocking this texture would be great for the airbrush. I can do maintenance, but I'm install side. Keeps me home at night for the family. I'm kind of thinking that I can leave the mouth off too, his stomach mouth. Because there's a lot of action in there that's really hard to paint. Like there's a whole ass tongue and shit in there. There's a duodenum or whatever the fuck that's called. I might have made that word up. I don't know. Now, I do have some plastic glue here. I'm kind of thinking maybe a little sprue glue is called for here. And there's almost no glue left in this container. Idiot at Rampage. Holy shit, buying a house is nonsense. What's the new nonsense story? I'm gonna go with Tara Quinn's sprue glue suggestion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this the hard part of this file and start filing down some of this plastic sprue, random sprue. And so I'm using the really heavy grit side. and putting it into this grid right here. All the little flakes. You okay over there, baby? What are you trying to do? You finna play your game? Let me help my baby. 1 second, guys. She's got the sciatica.
When you're saying things I know you don't mean, and I can make something work if you ain't working with me. I can't believe you would believe your own was not, baby, please. It only hurts. It only hurts. You play with my mind, then you think it's fine. You crossing the line. It only hurts me when you play with my mind. Don't even see that you've been crossing the line. So far so good as long as you think it's fine. You crossing the line. It only hurts when you're saying things I know you don't mean, and I can make something work if you ain't working with me. I can't believe you would believe your own was not, baby, please. It only hurts. It only hurts. No, you don't, you don't, you I can hurt. No, you don't, you don't, you I can.
We good. Idiot Rampage says, just did all the insurance that goes along with everything. I'm over here signing my life away. That's what I hear. Look at all this awesome plastic right here. I'm also just gonna make some really skinny like orange peels. And we're gonna use some plastic glue and get a slurry going to kind of gap fill. I think Nurgle really supports that strategy. Crazy says, okay, I'm gonna go play some Yu-Gi-Oh! See you later. Ebb forth your divine providence, mighty Pharaoh. There we go. Look at all that. Perfect. So now this is the Great Unclean One's base, by the way. Like a different container if possible. There we go. Just a random lid. Put these little scraps in there. Got some in this paper towel. What I need is the instructions, because this is great paper. Go to the center of the book.
Welcome to the light show. This might be the night of your life. Welcome to the light show. This might be the
Put some inside the little instruction manual.
This might be the night of your life. Welcome to the light show. This won't be the night of your life. This might be the night of your life. Welcome to the light show. This might be the night of your life. Welcome to the light show. This won't be the night of your life. This might be the night of your life.
There we go. Plastic glue. Like I said, I'm almost out. I've had this for like 5 years. You see, we're gonna melt this plastic in the plastic glue. And I'm going to switch brushes here in a second. But we're going to use that to kind of paint along the seam where I don't like. Your plastic glue only lasts you like sorry, I guess I was completely off camera there. Your plastic glue only lasts you like 2 months for pigment? I just hardly use it. And see, that works because it's Nurgle. Like what I'm doing right there, that would be a disaster on a Space Marine. Right there. I'm even gonna texture it a little bit. Yeah, Quinn is the one who said he would do sprue glue. Because I was totally just gonna pull out green stuff and just do it the, you know, meticulously, flawless, perfectionist way. But he reminded me this shit's fucking Nurgle. What am I thinking? This is what sprue glue was made for right now. We just don't want that. Like, he can have like a weird bicep seam. Like, humans have that. It's just that it can't be obviously because it's a model. That ruins suspension of disbelief. You know what I mean? Now look, it's vanishing. That big seam that I pointed out at the beginning of the show. Okay, this one's got some bad shit too. Look, I hate that. The boss. What's up, brother? And we're going to feather that out with some texture, stipple. The seam continues down here. We're going to just stipple along that seam. Try to melt it together. It's all up in his hands right here. You can see this. Bro, I don't even think I glued this hand on recoil. It's still push fit mode. It's just sitting there still. Bro, look. It's not glued on. It's just so well. That's a good fit. Hold it back here. The Turbo Nerd, what's up, man? We're just inspecting the seam game and using a little sprue goo, and tightening that up. And we're having a field day with this because of the nature of the project. He's got a couple of seams that I just don't like. Here it's fine for the most part. I'm going to do a little bit more. This was one of the worst ones here. This is pretty much sorted out. Probably can't even see it anymore. Like, you probably have no idea what I'm even showing you. Guy Bachelor on YouTube. Now, this is plastic. This only works on plastic. This is plastic glue with a bunch of plastic shavings in it. And it's melting the plastic into like a workable, like a liquid plastic. Made of the same plastic that the model is. And we're jamming it into these, we're stippling it in to these seams that are little, they're mostly hidden pretty well, but there's a couple front and center that I already know are going to be a problem with this much texture and the way we're going to airbrush it. And because the model is so textured and Nurgle style, we're able to be a little bit heavy-handed with this, like with the stippling of this sprue glue. If this was like a clean, muscular, you know, like physique of like a corn demon, I wouldn't be this lackadaisical with it, this cavalier with the application, if at all. You know, it was like a jack smooth Slanesh torso. I wouldn't be doing this for sure. Studio Boneless. Hey, you ever seen someone snap the trigger on their Harder and Steinbeck? Like snap? Like what do you mean? Like how did you snap the little part that sits on the release valve from the actual trigger unit, or the actual top flat part of the trigger from the stem? You mean like halfway up the stem, it snapped like a stick? No, I've never seen that. Well, maybe. Can't die in that game. Alright. Just as this glue hardens, I'm just kind of reinforcing a couple areas. It's probably good enough. Alright. There it is. You raise this up straight. We got the face and the stomach face separated for now, just for the airbrushing process. This might stay up a little longer. This will probably go on right after we're done with the basic airbrushing. So what now? We're letting the we're gonna let this plastic glue fully cure and harden before we trap it in a side of a primer coat. Yep. And like I said, this hand is, it's just pressure fit. It's so wild. But yeah. So let's let this harden, cure. Then we'll pull our airbrush out. So we'll set up to do a whip. Oh, someone brought me a beer? Did you bring me this beer? Thanks, baby. Exclamation point whip. Load it up. Once we're done with the whip session, we're going to pull the airbrush out. Begin chapter 1 of the Great Unclean one. While it's raining and thunderstorming outside. Exclamation point. Class prize. Every $50 donated. You guys know what we do. We give away class credit. Shout out to everyone who's watching right now. Give me a second. I'm going to go hit the bathroom, guys. Be right back for this whip session. BRB. Now we're back. Let's queue up Discord, guys. Take a look. Tuning in on some other platform. You can still participate. But you need to go to our Discord server. Go. Those cats are going crazy downstairs. Guys, have you ever owned a cat? You know how crazy they go? Golf livery? Or pigment? Is that this guy's name? Like old Golf GT cars. Now I gotta go Google that. Old Golf GT cars. Oh yeah, sure enough. Exactly what you did. This is like some kind of European race car. Is that what this? Is that what the GT stuff is? What makes it different? I mean, they do more than just turn left, right? Or turn right. They actually do stuff, right? They actually just straight up drive on the road. They do like shut a bunch of roads down for these guys, or these guys just like plowing through traffic. What's the deal? So it's like a minty. Is it a mint? Is it a green or is it blue? I couldn't tell. This is this is the most ludicrous fucking thing I've ever seen. Is this like a known meme for like D&D players? Like this graphic? Am I like late to the party on this? It's so random. Motherfucking wizard never dies. Arrow points to wizard. Jacked as fuck. Probably works out every day after preparing his spells. Guy in the background. Pathetic fighter blown away by his magical manliness. Pointing to his abs. Rippling arcane abs. Pointing to the demon he's summoning. Demon bro who's got his back. Pointing to the fucking helmet on the shelf in the background. Helmet taken from bitch ass Night Hater. Book arrow. Making the laws of physics his bitch. This girl on the ground. Lucky girl about to get some serious wizard loving. Badass raven pet. Chilling on the skull of a foe. This is the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen. Rippling arcane abs. It's like my new favorite term. The jactification process. Mr. Noon, what do you got here? Working on edge highlighting. First highlight was pastel pink, then oranges over it. Like we talked about. Oh, it happened, guys. Yeah, this looks great, Mr. Noon. So you took that same like burnt red, orange workup you did, added a little white to it, then highlighted it, and then hit the orange right over it. War Pigment says, cheering your wizard beard arc. You know, it could. You guys probably didn't hear that because of my noise gate, but that shook the house. It's still going. All the cats flew. Mr. Noon, if you want to go 110% paint panel lines, just decide to edge highlight. If I wanted to go 110% paint the panel lines, just decide to edge highlight. No, you wouldn't do that. You're kind of doing an effect now. Let me try to understand what you're saying. Paint the panel lines just inside the edge highlight. You talk about inner edge highlighting? What do you, is this trim? Is all this orange highlighting trim, or is it the edges already? So you wouldn't actually put a highlight there. It already is a highlight. You would put a dark line there. You would oppose the bright edge with a dark frame. super faint, very chill, possibly black, which would go with your flame motif. Like it's the burnt part. Fuck. I can probably show you. We got another whip right behind you. Here, let me do this real quick. Take me 2 seconds to this. All right, it's gonna go crazy, so I can't see you guys for a second. I have to do a display capture. This one? You guys see Photoshop? Yes or no? What do you guys see? What do you guys see? You see, is it getting closer and closer and closer? All right, so like essentially like just take like the pencil tool. We take that, maybe blur it. See? Put it back in whip for you. I sampled your dark color there and made it a little blacker. So whatever your darkest hue already is on that zone, respect it into black, and then lower the opacity and kind of like heart pool glaze that line in. As Recoil said, if you use black, it's got to be super low opacity and you got to be really in control. That would be what you're looking to do if you choose to do it. Man, copious amounts finish. Gratling's diorama. I just won Forged Brush with my Legionnaires kill team. This right here? Holy shit, this looks awesome. Oh, yeah. I remember you working on this. Yeah, that came out really good. Yeah, remember when you were putting this big orc face together, and you went like metal on metal on metal, and kept it like low understated in the background. Looks great with how saturated and popping the actual kill team is. These guys look great. Wish you had a good photo of the team, like with the Legionnaires. Yeah. I was kind of hoping that too, but it's all on the board from a distance. It's fine. Purple and greens look great. Straight fire. Wait, what event was this that you won at? Forged brush. Valley Team Tournament. Squad Games Kill Team Tournament. It's at the Valley Team Tournament Squad Games Kill Team Tournament. It's awesome, man. Any more whips? Kobe, some mounts. Congratulations on that win. All right, exclamation class prize. You know the drill. We're gonna pull the airbrush out, guys. Consider this chapter 1 of season 1 classic adventure. I'm about to run back into Nurgle Demon action. We haven't done that in a while. Let's lock into the obesity cradle. Oh, so fat. My transport case link on Linktree might be cooked. Base was the Battlefront one. I'll have to make a note to go through that this weekend and update it. Those links are changed. Those links changed. Thanks for pointing it out. I'm not too worried about it because you could just copy and paste the name into Battlefoam. Sorry, Battlefoam's website. I don't make very much money on Amazon affiliate links. So it's not like that. It's not that I'm not that worried about it. It's important if you can see the name of the suggested item. Alright. Pull up this airbrush using this little compressor. Alright, locked in. Fucking feet on this thing. Lock the back. Go. Okay, move this shit out of the way. Squirt some water in here. Hold on a second. Just realize that I would like Nurgle to be on something. Maybe his base? Yeah, I kind of think I should just put him on his base real quick. Move him out of the splash zone for a minute. Move some shit out of the way. Airbrush has just been sitting in a simple green cocktail. Squirt some water in this pot. Just gonna send some water straight through it, and what we're trying to do is just rinse the solvent out of the airbrush. I'm pumping the needle. Gonna help with that. You could turn him into a piggy bank. That's right. I recoil. He's straight hollow. Bro, this Great Unclean one straight makes a mockery of that Titan. That was fun. That was actually fun to build. Instead of like, I hate my life. What I'm looking for is no suds, right?
Multiple threats attacking.
And we'll just shoot some water on this paper towel. Take the needle guard off. Some blue paint still stuck in there. Some backflow. Bring that inside out. It's pretty good. Trigger's a little dirty. I'm looking for my... There it is. I was looking for my toothbrush. You get a little trigger stick. So, you know what? I might take just a quick second. Pull some of that out. And just get some of that debris out of the triggered housing. As you can see, yeah, there's some blue paint in there. Wonder what we were painting with dark blue. Probably the base coat of that Titan. What we're gonna do is run some clean water in there. And you're seeing dirty, kind of particulate infused water fill up this cup. So this, you know, I'm doing a reasonable spot clean real quick on the section of the airbrush that's going to give me the most problems right now, which is trigger. And I'm going to shoot some water through that housing. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of... It's getting a lot cleaner now. It's not bad. The trigger also is kind of gummed up. That's what I wanted my toothbrush for. Just that little hinge right there. I'm gonna put a little lube on it right there. And a little dangly bit. I'm gonna put that dangly bit back in. Back plate, little messy. Throw that joint in there. Close this up. Hear a cat locking themselves in the closet. Bro, do you guys have cats that lock themselves in closets? Bro, like, one of our dumbass cats does it, and then it taught it to the new cats. So now we've got 3 idiots that fucking are completely down. Actually, I guess they all do it, because Skylar straight locked himself in the fucking closet and missed breakfast. He doesn't do it on purpose. He's just too dumb to get out. So only 3 of them do it, okay? In Rampage, what's worse than having a small model with a million parts to it? Instructions that don't match the numbers. Oh, bro, forgery. Yeah. Remember when we did the Kabuti? It was like that. Repray says they think it's fun somehow, right? Like, I mean, they definitely get a lot of attention for it. I'm gonna take this brush, jam some silicone in and around the action, like that. Okay, feeling good. Feeling good about that, guys. Get some of this away. Now I'm gonna take a little iso alcohol. 91%. We're picking number hops number 9. I just don't have any, dude. Like, that bottle of hops number 9 I had for my airbrush lasted straight up fucking 7 years, dude. Longer. I just don't have any more. Just haven't gone to buy more. People send me stuff, so I have this silicone. Hops number 9 is great for cleaning it, though, too. Like, the little tip of your airbrush, nothing cleans it better. So I'm going to use a little bit of this iso alcohol and the PSI of the airbrush to pressure wash. I'm spraying a little alcohol down and then pure air and just blasting it, drying it up. And I'm using this to blast off any fingerprints, any oil from my skin. Just to kind of prep the surface of these models. The silicone's probably better in the long run for moving it. Core pigment. Yeah, you know what? Like Kara Quinn, exactly, right? I used gun oil because I owned it. Like 2010, I'm sitting here cleaning my airbrush, and I'm like, why wouldn't this work in exactly the same capacity? I use it exactly for these similar mechanics. Metal on metal. So I just went with it. It worked. But now I don't have any, and what I have is like lube bottles that people send me for airbrushing that are made of silicone. And I'm like, well, WD-40, silicone-based WD-40 I use on everything. So we're just gonna hit it with some alcohol, hit it with air. Now, like I said, we'll just try to wash off fingerprints and oil. And blow dust particles away. Okay, I feel good about that. That was only like a speck of alcohol. Really didn't. A little bit goes real far on that. Pretty pray sanitization. Sanitizing a great unclean one. That's right, that's what I did. Gold Boy says I had a huge bottle of hops for like 30 years. It rolled out of your truck into your driveway. It shattered. Oh man. That bottle was a friend. Yeah. 30 years, bro. I don't know if it lasts that long though, because like even in the 7-8 years I had my bottle, it was looking a little thick at the bottom of the bottle, you know what I mean? But that reminds me of I don't know if you guys have seen that like reel where it's like this dude, he's like some hardworking blue collar dude sitting out in his driveway, and he's got like a spool of wire. And he's just looking at the spool of wire, and his lady comes down. She's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "This wire. Like, I bought this wire. It was like the spool was like this big. I've had it for like 14 years, and like this is all that's left." You know what I mean? And she's like, "Okay, so blah 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 blah." Like, just moves on from it, not realizing like how impactful this like epiphany to this guy is. Like, that was a fucking that hit hard. That you seen it? Reaper, yeah, you seen that one, right? Like, I was like, damn, dude. That's what that fucking 30-year-old bottle of hops number 9 is. You guys have all seen the reel. You know what I'm talking about. Like that, like perfectly explains parts of my life. Reprint, yeah, exactly. He's like, that was a Hollywood flashback, right? I'm like, yep. The dark days. Let's get some of that alcohol out of there before it clogs my airbrush up. Scooby Druid, the commissioner, in the chat. Yeah, Caddick painting. I've seen it. She couldn't even comprehend his point of view, right? You seen it? I'm gonna raw dog some dark neutral gray. Scooby Druid, the commissioner, in chat. This is chapter 1, just in time. And I haven't even glued this hand on, Scooby Druid. Like, look. It holds them. I'm just gonna let it ride. So what we're gonna do is just gently start covering this guy in dark neutral gray. And he's so big, it should all hit him. And he's so big, and he's gonna have so many layers on him that, like, I'm not even really that concerned with like consistent coverage. I'm really just kind of going slow and steady and kind of building up opacity as I go. Where normally I don't recommend that. Normally I recommend bringing it all up together thin at the same time. But he's got such preposterously thick, deep details that it's really what I'm trying to do is just make sure I get proper opacity as I go so I don't miss anything. And I'm trying to shove it deep into these folds. And I'm seeing I haven't changed angle. I'm working this one angle, then I'm going to invert it. Scooby Druid, this is dark neutral gray primer. I'm going to do another round of the primer. We're doing everything from the bottom right now. Really try not to miss anything. We are raw dogging it, so you're going to have to fight it a little bit here and there. So I'm backing the needle out a little bit. See, I'm staying in that extreme angle. You can see this is the gray, the plastic up top still. Scooby Druid says, I thought you always start black. I mean, I just don't have any black primer, so I'm just using dark gray. It almost doesn't matter. For like a small model, black is a cheat code for sure, for obscuring a lack of coverage in the shadows and stuff. For something big like this, I typically like to be in a more of a neutral position because I'm going to be able to go dark, bright, back to dark, etc. So I like having a more neutral starting position. And I am going to do some subtle pre-highlighting for sure, just for the camera for you guys, more than anything. But I do call it better priming practices, because paint likes to stick to black, gray, and white for different reasons. So if you present a spectrum, you'll get better stick in all categories. See, I'm just going through. We have nice coverage, really solid. Getting really deep into those folds. And that's why we left his face off just right now. Because his tabard, as you can see, Scooby Druid,
stay safe in the storms hitting your face. And
that tabard gets in the way
before
of the airbrush. Unhappy Dan says, yo, dude, stay safe in the storms hitting your place. Always cleanse the nurgle before painting them. That's right, brother. Let me get some strong man love in chat for my man, Unhappy Dan. Putting us 13% for our goal. Scooby Druid, yeah, so this is step 1 of your tutorial, your custom tutorial. Now the face, same thing. We're going to end up putting the face on really quick. We're not going to leave the face off the whole project. It's just that I can't really angle cheat my base coats with this tabard just laying down in front of his gut like that. His fucking Shaco. Fighting the airbrush a little bit because of the raw dog primer. No thinning whatsoever, just straight shooting it out of the airbrush. And we also left his face mouth off, Scooby Druid, because behind these teeth is like a whole bunch of detail that you would have to like paintbrush somehow. So we left this grin off his stomach mouth for now. back to here. And you can see inside there, right? There's like a fucking tongue and a throat hole and everything. So we're definitely going to want to end on a varnish today because we're going to be doing some dry brushing for sure on this model. So let me dump some of this. Let me see, do I just have like a neutral gray laying around? This is straight up empty. It's up here. Neutral gray, yeah, I got some right here. Cigar Smitty, what's up, brother? We're just gonna place some neutral gray in the pot. Gangster Gumbo. We're just going to do a classic Zenithal situation here. Just for better priming practices, we're going to get extreme. And we're just going to kind of spray the top and let it kind of float down as details. You'll be able to see just a little subtle highlight. I'm gonna shoot it down his hand right here. Knee, feet. Hand.
Eater.
See, we're just building up a portfolio of values here, see? Always kind of shooting from the top. And when we can't get a top, kind of center.
I guess you're the one who lost today.
Right here. Reprice says, when you airbrush, it makes the model look wavy on stream. Is this, man, it's this silly ass compressor. If I have it too close to the table, remove it. That little digital compressor. Got bad shock absorbers. There we go. Moved it.
I've been looking for a one-way ticket to a new place where I belong.
Get these tentacles. Monument Hobbies coming in with that raid. gonna get some love and chat from Monument Hobbies in the house. Scooby Drew, is this still primer? This counts as primer still. We're using neutral gray paint to build up a subtle highlight. Yeah, we're priming the model still. That's the dark neutral gray, and we threw a little neutral gray in the pot. And we're setting a better priming practices kind of zenithal highlight into motion here. This allows our paint to stick a little bit easier based on that whole value spectrum. So now what I'm going to do is bump the pot again. Let's grab something classic. Now we're just going to skip a bunch of steps. And we're going to pour transparent white in there, Scooby Druid. Some little flow improver. Sometimes it needs a little hand. Transparent white likes to dry out. So the transparent white, now we're going to get a little bit more extreme. See, just kind of center, top, skitter down, top of hand, feet. See, I'm going to build it up in these bellies, like the centers of things, Scooby Druid. Because remember, we talked about it. We're going to definitely take that paler skin approach. And so, if you primed it pure black, you're going to have to do a lot of work to get it back to the pale skin that we're looking for. So we're just cutting some layers of paint out, you know? Is the trans white like ink in this capacity? Yes, very similar. That's while tuning in. What's up, man? And the transparent white is pretty forgiving because as it dries, you'll see it's not that white. go. Gonna hit it hard again. Just kind of building up more and more. Scooby Drew, it's a shading without a wash. Is that like a GW term? Is that what you're using, shading? What we're doing is we're just subtracting from a dark position. This is essentially layering. Scooby says, I mean, you've got dark areas without having to use wash. You say that, it makes me like, Scooby, you take my fucking classes, dude. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's the whole Airbrush game, dude. I'm glad that you can see that and make that conclusion. But that is the utter nature of a transition, right? Is you're subtracting from something through addition. The layer, as long as you don't subtract to zero, there's a fade. And typically that fade is going from dark to bright. When something's big like this, you can use the architecture of the model to block flow and preserve even more. But we're not going to use a lot of, like, a lot of people would do this as a value paint and then like put their contrast paints on it, or speed paints. That's how a lot of people would do it. That's a value paint. That's not what we're doing. I'm doing this 50% for the camera so you guys can see the model better, and 50% just to have a better primer state for our base coat. Wash is slow NLP for condition painting. Poor pigment. Wise words. Yeah, I don't even know if I'll use any wash product on this model. Honestly, I don't think it's necessary. I think it's big enough that you can get most of it through subtraction. Might do a little wash strategy like technique, but I probably won't open a bottle of wash product for it. It's pretty good. That's a good setup. Scooby Druid. See, that's what I was just referring to. He's like, if this is a small model, a spawn, you just drop inks on this undershade. That's like a value paint. That's like slap chop. That's like speed paint, right? You could. Absolutely. That's how you would do it. You would do it exactly like this. You have to manage your filters, but that's not what I do. There's like a time and place to do something similar to that. You see me do that sometimes with certain workups where I'll like ultra red, where I go like, oh, I build my reds up and then I start using white to go further. Then I'll filter the red back over. But a value paint, nah, shit's grandpa painted. So that's never gonna get you that saturation that I crave. You know what I mean? Or at the very least, it can give you some good saturation in some situations, but it's never going to give you like the complexity. You know, it's always like monochromatic is the problem, because it's all dependent on the value spectrum for its shading and highlighting. So it's like if you spray like a blue over it, all the dark blue is just because it's got gray and black in it, and all the bright blue is because there's white in it. It's the same blue, very low complexity, very monochromatic. That's definitely not my cup of tea. Get this out of the splash zone. This needs to set up for a minute. It needs to cure. Some of that transparent white is still a little shiny. We're gonna just run some of this through it. Backing the needle out continuously, just kind of toilet snaking it. Trying to push all that gray out. Scooby Druid says you prefer dark blue and add light blue over top. Yeah, to build my highlights, I prefer to select a range of colored paints, right? Paints that have named colors to them, right? Like that seem like they're similar color family or respect building, but I want to build up my highlight game by using a complex suite of hues. So like dark blue, sky blue. It's a great workup. But you can change that, right? Like what if you use black blue? Now that we know that there's black in the mix. So that's going to be a different feeling, right? There's dark blue gray. It's also a dark blue. It's saturated as fuck. It's a different feeling, right? So there's like, you know, especially when I'm looking for saturation, this will never lead to the saturation world. This value paint. And even if you use like an over-the-top ink and it does have like a high saturation, kind of like the higher the saturation, the more the filter is removing your highlighting game, and it's still ultimately monochromatic. I want complexity, color tastiness. I want like the visual equivalent to good mouthfeel, you know? So my airbrush system is based on that. Now, there's lots of more advanced ways to do airbrushing. What I teach typically every student is that three-piece technique. But there are other ways to do it. Like on a model this big, you're gonna see me break some of my rules. Recoil. Did Twitch remove the optional delete flag a comment? I don't know. Are you in like moderator mode? I don't know. I'm never on Twitch while I'm streaming. I have no idea. All right, so realistically, we gotta let this sit, man. We can't jump the gun too fast. Gotta give this a minute. Let it completely cure. It's a combination of evaporation and hardening. This sets the tone. And something this big and beautiful, like I'm not gonna rush it. So let's see if anyone came to market with some whips. We can do a second little whip section. And I need to refill my container of water too. So I need water for the airbrush anyway. Void Wraith Paintings. Glad to see the OG Paint Wizard is still at it. Kenny was the guy I watched when I wanted to have my airbrush game. Void Wraith Prime. Over on YouTube. What's up, brother? Yeah, man. That was a long time ago, right? We're over on Twitch doing most of the work now, so it's probably Ghost Town on YouTube. So you might consider migrating to where the real there's like 80 people on the Twitch stream talking and chatting in chat right now. I'm gonna go grab some more airbrush water, exclamation point whip. Let's see if we can do a second whip session. Somebody's already in there. While we're letting this is chapter 1 of the Great Unclean one, starting with proper priming. This isn't sponsored content. This tutorial is brought to you by Scooby-Doo. BRB. Oh, is this technically the month ender? Huh. I guess I forgot about that. I forgot. I am not prepared to do it today. I have not done the bookkeeping required to achieve that result. Might have to start the Tuesday show off with the giveaways. Do a reset. Yeah, maybe a month opener. That's a good idea, Rico. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll open the month up with our top D Grand Prix. That makes sense. And then we're immediately going to start giving away dice bags on Tuesday. Exclamation point bag raffle. Shout out to my man Unhappy Dan. And the Top D Grand Prix. Month opener. The exciting July month opener. So far. Every $50 donated, we'll give away a class credit free to the chat. We kick open Discord. Jump in our Discord server if you want to show off your work. If you're just looking for some CNC. Yeah, fuck that recoil. For some reason, I thought there was another stream. Adriana Sparky Commissions. Drythelm. Sparky Commissions. Bro, this looks sick. Even the top of the sword looks crazy. Lucius the Eternal. It's a beautiful paint job. I like that nearly black armor with a lot of the traditional pink and purple coming from the edge highlights. Some great, nice clean edge highlighting. Cool brushwork. Liquid vial effects looking good up top. Good tri blend on the sword. Quad blend. Like this, like leather. Is that like leather armor, like over his greave? It's pretty badass. These pillars look great. Or is it like classic Emperor's Children, like skin stretched out? That's incredible. I would say like that's probably the only criticism I'll give it is maybe like that, like those browns are great, well highlighted, but maybe glaze some pale pinks into it, like just filter it slightly just to give it a little more of like a living feeling. You know what I mean? Like it was once, like, you know what I mean? Like it was like from a, like it's not like treated leather. You know what I mean? It's like a human being. Right. I mean, it's incredibly well presented. It doesn't really matter. It's meaningless, practically. Meaningless critique. Who else got some whips? Yeah, the lash is sick. Unhappy game. It really shows it off coming out of the armor like that. Like coming out of that demon's mouth. Orifice.
Public enemy open one. Stole 2% freeze what they got. Can I make them say I never had a lead? But it's the Jedi tricks I'm playing on your mind.
Help! I am drowning in resin nonsense. Please send someone that can read stupid build instructions. I am dying over here.
You working on that Blood Bowl resin tree thing? Is that what you were working on? Let me get some love and chat from my man Idiot Rampage, triggering one of our class giveaways. Legendary support from Idiot Rampage. No more whips? Let me know if someone whips it out. Still letting this cure up a little bit. Recoil, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, a little creepier when it looks like it's fresh, right? Hey, the rampage. Yeah, the tree thing. Your blood pressure rising. I feel you, dog. Forge World instructions are preposterous, dude. Remember when we did the Booty Warrior? Remember the whip? Oh my god, dude. It's like this whip that like whips all around him, comes up between his legs. And the instructions are like, here's the whip. It's like 9 parts, bro. And it's like, remember when I had it all straight and straight? I was like, it's like 14 inches of whip. That when bent and curved and doing all of its stuff is only like 4 inches of vertical space. You know, like, or 6, it's like 6 inches of vertical space. So you're taking something that's this long, and through the twist and turning, it's only this big. But the problem is all the whip sections are straight, no bend. And they're like, it's incredibly unclear which piece is which piece. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting blown up over here. I'm trying to figure out what she sent me a picture of. She's savage. She sent me a picture of a bowl of peanut butter. She's like, I'm eating this. All right. Let's set up a giveaway and get back to it. See what we can get done. War Pigment says mini AMA. You know, like AMA is kind of happening the whole time we're streaming War Pigment, if you think about it.
Public enemy open one. Stole 2% freeze what they got. Can I make them say I never had a lead? But it's the Jedi tricks I'm playing on your mind.
Recoil, holy shit. Recoil just threw down a 50 spot too. Yo, end of the month. aka Coil Daddy in chat. Class credit free lesson. Fresh lesson. Nice. Exclamation point, class credit. Shout out to my man Recoil, Idiot at Rampage, Unhappy Dan. So there's gonna be 2 winners at this point. So if you enter this raffle, you win credit with me. That's how my course works. You sign up on Patreon, you get a credit every month. My syllabus 101 is 3 lessons. The 201 is 4 lessons. And so you can access my syllabus if you win this credit. Jump right into the actual lesson plan if you want. But if you rather just do like a consult, you can as well. But a lot of people use it as like a free sample to see if they want to keep going. I've personally graduated over 300, 400 students through my course. Exclamation point, class credit. Come back to that. All right. So let's figure this out. All right, let's see what we got here. So there's a lot of different directions. What's going on here? Mix it out. Now, there's a lot of different directions we can go, and I did order a shitload of paint for this. It's not here yet, but I have a shitload of paint, so I went through some of the paint, and kind of here's what I've determined would be a good base coat. And I pulled this out of a new box, which I probably don't need to. I think I see one open over here. I think golden brown is a great base coat for this, because we do want to go with that lighter skin presentation. So I think that a solid golden brown starting position gets us the shading that we want to move into like more of an ivory position. So like I imagine this is like the deep shadow. And this golden brown, if you look at it, if you kind of look at it, you're like, yo, that's kind of gross actually, if it's like a skin color, right? Like this yellowy brown. So what we want to do, put like maybe a squirt of flow improver in the base, just to kind of lube up the brush with some flow aid essentially. And we're gonna just raw dog this shit, okay? Okay. So, all this pre-highlight we just did, Scooby Druid, doesn't matter. What we're going to do is get this golden brown to stick And remember, you mentioned earlier black. This would struggle to stick to black. We'd have to do multiple coats, multiple build up. To get this to actually look good on black would take a minute. So what I'm trying to do again is kind of max this out as I go. Where normally I take a big step back and I kind of do it all at once. This guy is so big. It's so meaty. Just kind of going section by section. And again, you really got to pay attention to like the stuff on the bottom. You see, so that's the trick. Since we're going with a light skin tone Scooby Druid, you gotta make sure your shadow isn't like so dark. There has to be some believability, some blending occurring. And once I get this first pass down, then I'm going to lower the opacity and do another top coat. Now let's lower the exposure. You appreciate that a little bit more? No, the coverage is not great. It's okay for now. You see, there's his little face. And I am gonna kind of carve out the face parts. Just so you can understand a little bit easier what we're looking at, you see, for the camera to understand. Throw some water in there. Stir that up. Now we're gonna do a kind of a follow-up pass. And we're really letting this get inside those recesses. like I said, Scooby Druid, it cannot be stated enough that like a bright, high intensity color like this plastered over black would have been a nightmare. Especially since this is going to be my darkest color on his main body. So where it's low opacity right here, do you see how desaturated that is? That spot? That's what you get from value paint. Saturation. And we're trying to get it inside the folds, inside all the bullshit. And I feel like pale-skinned Great Unclean ones are the coolest ones, but most people kind of lose their bravery because the dark green dry brush workup is so much easier. This is much more challenging and time-consuming comparatively. Like a series of dark greens with good dry brushing looks really good and it's easy. So as it dries, because I'm going kind of hard, so it's kind of wet as I lay it down. It's such a big model. As it dries, I see new areas that I have to address. Same thing here. You got to make sure he's got all these like pimples and all these little doodads hanging off of him, Scooby. And so the problem is you hit it from one side and you realize there's still like a gray shadow on the other side. See it upside down? I can see all this gray right here. I want to eliminate that. Staying extreme. See all that gray? Now the gray isn't necessarily bad if I miss some of it deep in the shadow. Because this Nurgle will support that, but that would be bad on other projects. So stay on top of your game, you know. Hey, sweetie. How was your dinner? Maybe that fancy rice I like. God, we're hobos. The hand has got a lot of angles on it. Kara Quinn. Now this is the step where we have to get a varnish down. We can't keep manhandling this guy without a varnish. So we're probably gonna move into one of my strategies here now. I'm not gonna keep blending the skin up. We're just trying to get a firm base coat down. This is the shadow of the skin. We're gonna move into something like this bright ivory as his actual skin tone, where the shadow is this yellow brown. So one of my favorite techniques that you guys see me do, I'm gonna pour some of this paint out. So this is all that's left. Now we're gonna take throw inside. We're gonna take some straight up matte varnish from Army Painter into the pot, Kara Quinn. Which at its core is just matte medium. It's concentrated acrylic medium. Okay? So we've lowered the shit out of the opacity of this paint. I'm gonna add a little water just to cut it a little bit. So what's in this pot is extremely low opacity golden brown. And now what we're going to do is do yet another coat of this brown, but it's extremely low opacity and it's straight up matte varnish. So we're baking the varnish in to a third light coat. Go. Exclamation point class credit. We're giving away some credit, guys.
Don't be afraid to fall. Follow me to the afterlife.
Let that settle down for a second. Give me a second, guys. While that dries for a second, I'm gonna go grab my little mini air purifier, bring it in here.
Check my rap sheet. Platinum what they plaque me. From scoreboard to the billboard. I'm a factor, not an athlete. I'm a big dog. Dynasty, I'm a legacy. You last week. Ask Phil Jackson. Matter of fact, ask Pat Riley about my last heat. Pay respect, I'm a weapons drawn. Ring your neck like it was peppercorn. You ain't ain't stepping with the Megadon. This ain't a jet, it's a Decepticon. Check the watch, is what I set it on. Winning time is what I kept it on. I don't wanna know your records, cause I had to pay respect. I'm a weapons drawn. Dinosaur, I'm dynamite. You tiger like, I'm Iron Mike. Do a year of working that entire night. If they make it wrong, I'll buy it right. Bring fire trucks to the firefight. Height to where you couldn't fly a kite. Twice as much you couldn't find a light. Pay respect, I'm a weapons drawn. You ain't stepping with the Megadon.
We're back. 7 minutes left, guys. Let me put 7 minutes on this clock.
Dinosaur, I'm dynamite. You tiger like, I'm Iron Mike. Do a year of working that entire night. If they make it wrong, I'll buy it right. Bring fire trucks to the firefight. Height to where you
Exclamation point class credit. Shout out to Recoil and Rampage. Unhappy Dan. We're going to do a month opener for the historical July. Let me get some love and chat from my man.
I
Easy
got
peasy
paid.
lemon
Time
squeezy.
to spread the joy.
I talked over the robot voice. I got paid. Time to spread the joy. Let me get some love in there. I think he just kicked it over to a third giveaway. That's my dude right there. We get some love and chat. And War Pigman posted a YouTube video. What is this? 7 years ago. What am I painting?
Bags, top D, blah blah blah.
Holy
We'll talk about
shit.
it more throughout the show.
Look at
Let's talk
this
about
nonsense.
the big news off on deck,
Oh, let me
which
get
is Graveyard Shift, the legendary novel by the now
Oh
published
my
writer
God.
Mike Haskell, my dear
Bro.
friend of over a decade and a standard member and cast member of the Long War podcast.
I'm literally talking
Here
about
he
Mike
is
Haskell's
with his
book.
debut,
That's all
novel,
this is.
exclamation point, free book. I think we'll get you linked to an Audible link. It's out. I started listening to it last night. I'm already like 3
Bro,
hours.
look at this
3 hours
nonsense,
in.
guys.
So there it is, guys. Let's do our best to help this guy. It is the week of release. We can spread the word. I know, right? Captain Chaos.
Bro, that's the
So big
old
that you had to draw a
Hollywood Beats
frame.
Lab.
Yeah.
This
Frame
is when
labs,
we
I
were
swear to
painting the
God.
Creature Caster one.
Zona says, what model gallery? Oh, Sheezy.
Bro, look at this. Doing some whips.
Casters, one of our sponsors, creaturecasters.com. So I'm doing what I can to be hurt, to wear a mask, have you still hear me, and try to keep some of it out of my fucking mouth.
Bro, that is old school. War Pigment, you found this on the old YouTube channel? Man. The old Trader Green workup. Good times. Bro, so that's the last great Unclean one we did was the Creature Caster one, right? Is what you're saying. Let me post it up in Whip. I think I have a picture of it. Glutton, right? It's a glutton demon. Here it is. Seven years ago, painted that joint here on the channel. It's on my intro page. Oh yeah, I guess it is. That's old school, bro. So now we've got this guy, and it's not much different. He's got some, this guy's got smoother stuff, which I like. And we're gonna do some of the same stuff I did in that video. Spoiler alert. How we're gonna backshade. But we're gonna get him much brighter than that. Much brighter. This is gonna be so much brighter. Because I've never done a Great Unclean one with the more pale flesh. So I'm excited to do that. Because when you look at the Rodicus here, this example, you see it, like, look at how bright his skin actually is. That we're gonna get it like that. And we're gonna cut a lot of this golden brown out and only leave a vague amount of it in the shadow. You see how they stain a lot of the tears and rips with greens? I'm gonna try to mess with that too. So I'm gonna really try to draw inspiration from the Rodicus, because GW killed it on that paint job. You know? So there's really no reason to, and nobody paints it like that. That's just on like page 3. Like you know what I mean? Okay, so we put our varnish mix all over this guy to seal in all of that base coat. Scooby Druid, did you catch that part of the tutorial, Druid? About a minute and a half left. Exclamation point, class credit. I forgot about the glutton demon. Bro, am I secretly like... Am I like the most baller Nurgle painter out there? Okay, where did I put the crown? This is upsetting. Good old ADHD. It's been a long time since I lost the airbrush cap, guys. Oh, found it. Still haven't lost it. 18 seconds left in the giveaway. Scooby Druid says definitely. More paper says duh. You guys remember the Cromlech one? I mean, that was before I was streaming. That was a long time ago.
You gotta get swifty in here.
That was one of my first.
It's time to get swifty.
Like, damn, I love this. Paint jobs.
You gotta get swifty. Oh, yeah. Take off your pants and your panties. Shit on the floor.
We're gonna do this giveaway in a second, guys. Exclamation point. Oh, it's too late now. We'll just see if I can share one last picture with you guys before we get out of here. Here it is. I feel like that was 2000, between 2010 and 2013. The Cromlech Great Unclean one. Yeah, we're going to do our month opener on Tuesday. Scooby Druid, we're going to do some giveaways right out the gate. Our top 2 Grand Prix, reset the Yo Dogs, and then begin our dice bag giveaway. We're going to give away 5 dice bags in July. Our big summer promo. Let's pull some winners. More Pigment. Caddick Painting. Idiot and a Rampage. There they are. I think all of you have the correct roles on Discord, right? Yep. See you guys for an epic July. Thank you guys for an amazing June. Let's set up a big raid. Thank you, Kara Quinn, oldest man in the internet, still with us. Where's the raid going tonight, Quail Daddy? The Good Doctor. Dr. Rhino. The raid is ticking down, ladies and gentlemen. Bring the length, the girth, the positivity on over to my man, Dr. Rhino. Stream Scooby Druids is excited to watch Rhinokus unfold. Kara Quinn, yeah, Rhino's back. Okay, guys. See you guys on Tuesday. Again, the month opener. We're going to do our Top D Grand Prix, and then we're going to do our first dice bag giveaway. We're going to do 5 of them every Tuesday. We're going to be doing a different system, a raffle-based system, an escalating system. No purchase necessary. You can get in the raffle from just watching. If you watch long enough, obviously. But you can pay your way in. As always, until we meet again, play on, players.